Hey guys, welcome back. This video is going to be an update on my Zenith Cruzer. So most of this video is going to be just random clips that I filmed doing different things on the airplane. But before I get into that, let me show you exactly what I've been doing this morning so far. Alright, now the first thing you might notice is that I have removed all of the Kitfox stuff from my hangar. I've taken it either into my garage or the upstairs of my house for storage for now, and that opened up a lot of room. You might notice I've also taken down the paint booth. That curtain right there is hanging on the wire, so I can just leave that and slide it over like a shower curtain if I need the paint booth again. But today, I've also finally installed these trim pieces for the side of the front windshield. And I haven't done that previously because I haven't painted the yellow on the bottom. And since I think these need to be installed before I attach the wings, because I'm not sure I'd be able to get to this screw with the wings attached, yesterday I painted the yellow and today I installed them. So I've taken a door off the left side of the airplane, and on the right side I do still have the door attached, and you can kind of see how nicely those pieces fit with the door. Now I've also been spending some time sanding and buffing and polishing this wing, and it looks really good. It's not absolutely perfect, but it looks really nice. And if you've been following the progress on my Facebook page, the Blue Angels Cruzer group or whatever it's called on Facebook, I mentioned that I've had to do this wing twice. The first time I did it, after I painted it, I started with 1200 grit paper and then 15, and then 2000 and 3000 and then 5000, and then I did the three-step 3M buffing process. But you could still see a lot of the scratches in the paint from where I sanded. So what I did was I redid the whole wing with the 5000 grit, and I did the three-step buffing process again, and I used different pads. I realized that the first time I did it, the pads I were using were way too soft, especially for the first stage of the buffing process, and it just wasn't cutting into it enough to get those scratches out. So like I said, it looks a lot better now, but it's not absolutely perfect. Under the hanger lights is where you really see all the flaws in the paint. But outside, just because it's a lot brighter and shinier outside, you'll never see it, but it looks good. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with it. I'm done messing with it, and now I just want to attach them to the plane. Now I'm also excited to get the wings attached because I can clean up this entire area and open it back up. I won't have that wing sitting in there. Now on the right side of the fuselage, I've installed the second fuel fitting. This was never installed because I had to order the washers. I put a grommet in here, and I have the wires for the fuel sender, the recognition light, and the nav and strobe lights coming out of there. And on the left side, I have these plastic snap-in grommets. This is where the pitot and static lines will come out. Then I have a rubber grommet for the fuel sender wire and a nav and strobes. You can see this middle one here was drilled a little bit lower than the other two. I don't know how that happened, but obviously that means I've got to scrap the whole airplane and start over. Now one other area I need to get to is, you can see I've only got half of the Blue Angels logo sticker installed on this side of the tail. And I had it, the other side was on, but I took it off because you can't just slice the sticker. You actually have to take a little section of the middle out because it wouldn't look right if you just sliced it and put it on. So this side looks good. On this side here, I left, I think it was either too big of a gap or too small of a gap or something like that, and it didn't look right. So I peeled the back half off, and I do have the other half cut out. I just need to get it installed onto the rudder. Some of the things coming up that I have to do is I need to finish the ends of the rudder cables and attach them. And then once I attach or stick on that Blue Angels logo sticker to the rudder, I can finish putting in the hinge here. I'll probably have to take the rudder off to finish doing that sticker. All right, now backing up a bit, I filmed this a while ago because this is the left wing here. And again, I'm just going over some places where I left some sanding scratches. I have my military logo sticker on this wing. Well, sorry about this being all out of order, but this is before I painted the right wing. I took all the cardboard out of the paint booth, I cleaned it off, flipped it over, and then then I got the wing painted. As you can see here, it looks pretty nice. Well, you saw earlier, I have the door removed from the left side of the airplane, and that was to do a little bit of work on the inside. This is the fuel fitting that I finally got the washers for that I just showed you before. That goes on the right side of the airplane. You can see the hole is drilled there. And then on the right side, I have the two fittings already installed. Back to putting this fitting in the side of the fuselage. Nothing exciting here. And of course, once the holes were drilled and the grommets are installed, I just ran the wires from inside the airplane to the outside. And then once the wings are on, I will install the connectors and plug them into the wires in the wings. Now this fire extinguisher is just sitting on the floor, but that's where I want to mount it, except I want to mount it on the vertical bulkhead there. To do that, I had to remove the seat because I need to get under or inside the frame. So I took the seat cushions off, then I removed the bottom seat pan. There are 6 bolts holding the seat pan to the frame. Took that out, and I got some nut plates and put those into the bulkhead. Well, I thought I filmed it, but I guess I don't have any footage of installing the nut plates. But I just put 2 nut plates in the vertical bulkhead here. What I'm showing you here with this scribe sticking out is with the nut plates installed, I kind of poke around with that scribe through the carpet to find the big hole where the bolt will go through. And then I use this soldering iron to open up that hole and just burn it open so that there's a hole in the carpet where I can put the bolts through. Now, of course, once I have the holes through the carpet, I can put the bolts. There's 2 bolts that hold the fire extinguisher bracket to the bulkhead. So I put those bolts in and then attach the fire extinguisher, and it's within easy reach of the pilot. Now this is the bottom of the right wing, and the Air Force or military logo, stars and bars, go on the bottom of this wing. That's what I'm doing here. It goes on the top of the left wing and the bottom of the right wing. That is all done, and it looks pretty good, but I probably still have to work out a few air bubbles. Now, since I'm about to attach the wings to the fuselage, it is time to balance these counterweights on the flaps and ailerons. And I made this little jig I'm going to show you in just a second on my workbench that holds the flap or aileron. And I can attach the weight and I can see if it sits level or not. And you can see right now the counterweight is too heavy. What I did was I made these 2 little brackets that go on the workbench, and I just bolted them to the workbench itself. There's a left and right side. I used a nylon washer just for, I think, less friction. And you can see, if you know how the flaps and ailerons attach to the wing, I just used the same mounts here and mounted it to the workbench so that it's free to rotate. And like I said, I have nylon washers on both sides of the mount for a little bit less friction. And having it mounted here just lets me take on and off the counterweight and see how much weight I need to take off or grind off of that counterweight. This is just what it looks like right now. Obviously, I haven't done anything to the weight yet, and we all know that the weights are too heavy and have to be lightened up. Well, like I said, that was just a mismatch of a bunch of video clips that I had, but that lets you see where I'm at on the Cruzer. I am all ready to attach the wings. I have some guys coming over tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. to help me attach the wings. So maybe I'll just put a like a GoPro up in the corner or something and do a time lapse of that. And I'll put that on the next video. But anyway, that's where I'm at on the Cruzer. I'm kind of motivated now after coming back from the Zenith fly-in to get this thing done and up in the air. So stay tuned. We'll catch you in the next video.